Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full House Games. You're here for round 4 of Modern Madness on a Wednesday at Good Games. We are featuring Ryan versus Charlie. Ryan, who we saw in round 3 there, playing Goryo's Vengeance, and Charlie, who is playing Green-White Hate Bears, I believe.
So, I lost to I lost to Charlie in the first round, and that was I was quite salty, super salty. Wasn't fun.
Yeah, Death and Taxes seems to be the deck that makes you the saltiest, I reckon.
Yeah,
and a turn 2 Thalia is definitely one for the salty levels.
Yeah, it goes great with chips.
Yeah, salt and vinegar. It's not going to make things easy for Ryan here at all.
Especially when he needs to cast spells to win. As hard casting Grizzlebrand and Emrakul is not an easy feat, and I feel the 2/2s will kill him before that point.
Yeah.
So, he's paying 2 mana for the Thoughtseize.
Oh, I definitely think you should pick that Loxodon Smiter.
That's always the correct choice. So, there's a Batterskull, a Flicker Wisp, a Voice of Resurgence, a Restoration Angel, and a Loxodon Smiter.
So he's only got 2 land though, so that's tough. Do you take that Batterskull, or do you maybe take one of the Voice or the Flicker Wisp to keep him off?
I feel
having something early.
I feel like knowing the deck is, you know that Hate Bears plays Aetherval. You probably just want to get rid of the Flicker Wisp because it's the one that can most interact with you the most. The Voice of Resurgence doesn't do much.
Yep.
If you Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, it just makes like 1/1. If you Emrakul, it makes a 1/1. Against Grizzlebrand, it doesn't do anything.
Sure.
But he's taking the Voice of Resurgence, so he must be playing counter spells or planning to Izzet Charm on your opponent's turn.
Okay.
But Batterskull doesn't do anything against you, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean,
it gains them a bit of life, but when they've got no permanents...
Yeah, it does also provide you 2 permanents to sacrifice to a 1 of Emrakul. So.
That's true, but they have 5 lands by that point as well, anyway.
Yeah, that's very true.
So they're probably more likely to stack the lands than anything. And if you're getting to the point where when you're playing a combo deck and your opponent's casting Batterskull without much problem. So, at this point, I think he's taking the Path to Exile or Flicker Wisp. So he's probably gonna try and go Emrakul route because Emrakul has protection from spells.
I can definitely see that happening. And,
coloured spells, sorry. You can still Ghost Fire him 5 times.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Ghost Fire the Emrakul.
Solid power.
Cracking the fetch.
Cracking a fetch is always fun to do in Modern. I think, well, no, there are basic lands in the deck, so obviously like Ghost Quarter is not too powerful. But,
when you combine it fully on Arbiter, it becomes a problem.
True that.
Yeah.
Is that...
is powerful, apparently.
Yeah.
Someone once told me.
I'm not quite sure why that Sun Petal has come into play tapped.
He doesn't have
a fast land, or
no, because the Razorforge Thicket doesn't have basic land types.
Right, so it's a fast land.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
definitely something you want in most decks, and I've actually seen fast lands start taking place over some shocks for the most part in decks like Melirapod and.
They're good in decks where you're playing a lot of things early. Like in the control decks, they're not great because why do you need this? Like it doesn't matter as much. You can just go fetch a basic, and your color restrictions aren't as important till late. But in decks where you need to cast lots of things very quickly, you don't want to be shocking yourself to death or just killing yourself with your lands, then get board wiped and proceed to lose because you're on 10 life.
Yeah, fair enough. And if you're Charlie here, do you just Resto Angel end of turn? Because your opponent has nothing and you want a faster clock?
Because Restoration's instantaneous bounce, so he can't Izzet Charm for 2 or whatever in response. I feel like you can safely Restoration Angel at this point. There's not much Ryan can do to interact with you. At the moment, he can't actually do anything at all by the looks of it. He's got a Through the Breach in hand.
He does have Izzet Charm mana.
He does, but what's that going to do against this? I guess he can respond to the bounce by dealing 2 damage to the Thalia.
Yeah, but it's not really something you want when you're preferring it for that discard effect.
Especially when you need to get, like, he's missed a land drop now at this point, so he needs to actually be digging into his deck.
I actually think he's missed 2 because Charlie missed 1 as well.
Oh, okay, well there's a land coming in now, so maybe he's only missed 1.
We'll take the shock for that.
Yeah, so he's paying 4, and Liliana. So he's going to probably choose to make him sack a creature. Now it's the question of whether Charlie wants to Restoration Angel to pay for it, but he clearly just wants the Restoration Angel instead of the Thalia.
That's a tough decision. Like, do you let that Thalia... do you let that Liliana resolve and... just leave the Resto Angel, or do you want to make him pay more every time? And by the way, I think those Lilianas are main board, so you can discard your breaches. Through the breach into Emrakul.
So the Thalia would have kept him alive an extra turn, and I think that would have made the difference.
1, 2, 3, 4...
He's not dead.
No, he's certainly not.
He's got a Restoration Angel and a Batterskull. I would have kept the land over the
Batterskull. I definitely would have kept 1 land over that.
Yeah. Because, sadly, Batterskull does not attack by itself. And if Ryan has nothing, he could just lose to Restoration Angel Beats, which is a legit strategy.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. On the other hand, how much mana did... No, he was all tapped out from casting that, wasn't he?
Yeah. And there's a Faithless Looting. Is it a dig or is it a combo Faithless Looting?
Well,
you can flash it back, so...
It's always a good card, Faithless Looting.
That's a Grizzlebrand, and that's a Through the Breach Emrakul. So that's...
That is a good way to kill your opponent.
Yeah. Doing it twice, just to...
I definitely think Charlie wanted to keep that Thalia instead of the Resto Angel.
It would have stopped Ryan from going off, because it was clear that he was running short on whatever. Because if he had the Goyos, he would have done it earlier, presumably.
Yeah, and he only just had enough mana for that Through the Breach. So I think Thalia is what you need. That's your main hate bear, and I actually think it's almost too powerful for D&T to have. Like, they need it because it's a fair card, but it's a 2-drop. Excuse me.
2-drop tax effect.
Yeah, it's basically a 2-drop Lodestone Golem.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the worst card, and everyone hates having to play against Mud because of that sort of deal.
Yeah. It's not as big a problem in Modern. I think it's a bigger problem in Legacy, where a lot more things are spell-orientated. But in Modern, a lot of the format is based around the fact that creatures are just more powerful in Modern for the most part. A lot of the really good spells are banned. Hypergenesis, Skull Clamp, all those are banned, though. If you're playing Thalia, you'd probably be playing Skull Clamp as well, because it's that insane.
Yeah, just sacrifice all your Touch White Risenders, those Doom Travelers, just going straight away to... Do you think you would play Doom Travelers in a format where Skull Clamp was unbanned?
Well, there's a lot of things that are playing in a format where Skull Clamp is unbanned, and Skull Clamp is definitely one of them.
That's fair enough. I guess you'd want to be playing, those young Pyromancers first and foremost.
Yeah, young... If it's not vintage, and they don't have tendrils, you may as well just start young Pyromancer, getting all those free spells, Skull Clamping away.
Yeah,
it'd be a great format.
It's pretty gross when you just want to go young Pyromancer into Force of Will, whatever spell you're casting, Skull Clamp, Gosh, Fast Bond.
Yeah.
Skull Clamp.
It's pretty
tendrils
gross.
for 20. All of the value.
Yeah. It's not something you want to play against. It's not fun. It's fun doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Back to the match now. And Ryan's. What do you want to sideboard in here if you're Ryan?
Creature board wipes?
Creature board wipes? Okay.
I imagine he's playing either Pyroclasm or Anger of the Gods
or Damnation.
Yeah, or Bonfire if he's feeling especially fun. I love Bonfire.
Bonfire of the Damned.
Yeah.
What a great card when you top deck it.
Yeah.
Not so fantastic when you don't.
It's 5 mana for the Pyroclasm, which is pretty bad, but
yeah.
It scales quite well.
Almost terrible, some would say.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you have to live for the top deck.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And when games go long, Bonfire is better. Because Bonfire can't kill Loxodon Smiters.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Bonfire can kill Loxodon Smiters.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good card for Charlie to have main board against Ryan here with Thalia. With Liliana.
Bonfire?
No, Loxodon Smiters.
Oh yeah, Loxodon Smiters, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the wrong deck. But no, yeah, Loxodon Smiter, very good in against Liliana. So Ryan, I can't imagine he sided out the Lilianas because it's a way to kill one of his creatures. And well, it looks like Ryan doesn't have many ways to do that. I imagine he's either sided in or had lightning bolts. And there's a Leon Arbiter. So if he can land a Ghost Quarter, that's going to be brutal. Because Ryan may be missing a land drop, and this may be another case of the one land hand tempted by the there's 2 lands.
2 lands on top.
So
okay, so he's
put them
pitching
both
them.
So he just
looks like he's got plenty of mana in hand.
Yeah.
So a Ghost Quarter here could be quite dangerous for.
He's tapped out. Always a dangerous play against a Leon Arbiter, and that's the Horizon Canopy and a Thalia.
Okay. Right.
So he's got a lot of tools, but he needs the extra step to utilize them. So a Ghost Quarter at this point is going to be effectively going to be normal because there's 2 mana left in tap. But he may just win by.
I think those beats are just good enough to get it
Rest
going.
in peace.
Ooh. Spell Snare and
land the go. Oh no, he passed.
I guess he didn't have another land to play.
Yeah.
So it's good for good one for Ryan there. Rest in peace, obviously not something you can have on the battlefield when you're playing
it
graveyard-based combo.
Yeah, it ruins one half, the easier half to achieve your combo. And so, I feel like Ryan's getting pretty low. In fact, the next swing may be pretty close to lethal. But, that's through the breach mana, but no through the breach because Thalia is in play. Or he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
And
it's because Thalia is in play.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much do or die now, right?
There's a Goyas in hand. So at this point you can also Faithless Looting and Goyas.
Yeah.
And there's the extra land.
He could Izzet Charm as well if he's got it. Since both are instant speed, he could make some sort of intricate play where he uses an instant speed Goryos to bring back a Grizzleband and block.
Yeah.
Which could definitely be interesting, but
I still don't feel like that is the correct play. However, there's the Restoration Angel. That could be a problem
for Ryan here.
He may not just have any gas in hand, he may just have all of the things to play the gas. So there is a Through the Breach in hand, so if he was going to win, he would have already won.
Through the Breach sorcery or instant speed?
Sorcery, I'm going to guess.
Okay. Alright, so here it goes.
No, it's an instant.
Through the Breach, instant speed.
So it's going to be a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, see? That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And blocking the Loxodon Smiter.
Oh, he's Restoration Angeling the Loxodon Smiter so he can't gain the life. That'll do it.
That is a good game there, ladies and gentlemen, and Charlie has won. So, do you think maybe you want to whip out that Grizzlebrand to turn earlier and gain the life?
If he was going to do the way Ryan did it, I would have blocked the Restoration Angel.
Just so you could avoid those sort of shenanigans?
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, but...
yeah, of course.
But I feel like blocking the Restoration Angel gives you more chance if you manage to, like, start, I don't know.
Yeah.
Restoration Angel's pretty deadly.
Yeah.
Especially because it's got flying. The Ryan doesn't really have a way to
what about
deal with ground creatures anyway.
Ryan just threw the breaching on his own turn and crushing in with that Griselbrand to gain 7 life? Is it too much of a risky play and you need to block?
It gives you 1 turn, whereas blocking gives you 2 turns.
Yeah.
So I think you have to block just for the fact that you get more turns. And the Through the Breach is a sacrifice, so it goes to the graveyard, which means next turn he can Goyas.
That's true.
So it effectively, he would have gained 16 life, taken 2, 4, 7, and he would have been well in the seat to win the game.
Fair enough. Alright. Well, that's game 2.
So it's game 3 and Ryan will be on the play.
So I think this is just a friendly match now, or
no?
Ryan won game 1. Of
Ryan
course.
won game 1. Charles won game
apologies.
2.
I thought something else must have happened there.
So, starting off, turn 1 Aether Vial. That could be a problem for Ryan in every respect.
Definitely.
Not being able to counter any of the things that Charles plays will definitely be a hindrance, especially when you can flash in Thalia's, flash in Flicker Wisp to stop an Emrakul attack is brutal.
Yeah, but flashing in Flicker Wisp to bounce an Emrakul is not exactly something you want to do.
No, you don't flash it to block, you flash it to stop it from being able to attack. Because it exiles it. Till end of turn.
Yeah, and then you have a permanent
Emrakul.
Yeah.
But if you've got lethal on board...
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
Like, it's not any guarantee to win, but it's better than nothing.
That is a spicy hand, and it's a good thing he was able to land that Aether Vial, because it looks like he is going all in on that. Wow.
You can still discard the Loxodon Smoke.
Yeah. So I think you take... that was a little bit of an odd point there.
Yeah,
but,
I was counting number of cards in hand, but thought he was...
Crushing Search...
Well, that's a lot what hate
best. That Ghost Quarter is really a strong play from Charlie here.
That's what Hate Bears has to do in Modern. It has to hate on the decks that can afford to search, and the fact that most Modern Mana bases don't play many basics because there's less access to cards like Blood Moon, Press of Progress. There's less of a need to.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Wasteland isn't a problem, so having lots of basics isn't necessarily always a bonus. And he's playing into the double Strip Mine, which is interesting. Which means he thinks he can go off next turn with a land. Or he has a Summon Spirit Guide in hand now, and he doesn't care. There are lots of opportunities, because I saw the Goyos in hand earlier.
Yeah, and he does have a Blood Crypt open there, so...
But now the Leon Arbiter can come down from the Aether Vial, he can double Strip Mine, and Ryan then has to top deck a land to actually get anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I assume
he
just
did discard a
hit both the
land,
black
so I'm assuming
sources.
he had one.
Oh, maybe Ryan just didn't read what Leon Arbiter did. That will get you.
He did discard a land though, so you would expect that he has one in hand.
You would expect as much, but you never know.
It looks like he's got a swamp on the end there.
Yeah, a swamp or a watery grave or something.
Yeah,
watery
there
grave.
it is, watery grave.
So he can attack with Griselbrand this turn, but that's not actually going to win him the game at all.
No, and the double Strip Mine play is pretty decent here.
Well, I can't think of a time when I wouldn't want to shoot my mind.
Oh, I don't know.
Like
when
it
I
can
have
happen.
4 Strip Mines
and
instead.
he's going to path it, so Why is he searching?
He's drawing 7 cards.
Oh, he's okay, yeah, of course.
Which might not have been the best play when he's just going to get eaten.
And you know the path was there as well.
Yeah, and it's not a Swords to Plowshares either, so he's not going to gain 7 life. It really hurt his clock. So unless he can have a Emrakul in hand and put another Grizzlebrand into the graveyard now, he
needs an extra land as well.
This is true.
Needs the Faithless.
This is definitely true.
So if Charles top decks another land or another Ghost one,
he's definitely in it with a chance. I mean,
attacking for 2 is the way that you win some games, and I guess it's the way that Charles could win this one.
It's definitely when you're playing Hate Bears to take out everything else too. I mean, you can't discredit it as just a value line of play where you just get value by
streamlining your opponent.
Yeah, choking your opponent's value out
as well.
That's true. It's pretty much a Dark Ritual every turn.
Yeah.
For colour. It's almost a multicolored Black Lotus every turn.
For a set amount of mana. In this case, it's going to always be 3. Unless he ticks it up for 4 for Restoration Angel.
Yeah. It should almost be banned.
It's pretty good, but not enough decks can utilize it. So.
I think it's not broken enough that... Like, it's very specific that you can't actually...
If it could go up and down, now then we would have a problem.
Now we're looking at ban ability.
Oh, he top decked the Ghost Quarter, and
wow.
That's not looking good for Ryan.
No, that's going to leave you pretty salty.
The salts are real.
Sodium count 900, but...
He can Serum Visions, but he needs to hit lands, and he doesn't have much that he can do.
I think he might have another land in hand. After drawing 7 cards, you'd hope you have some extra land in hand, but maybe discarding that Blood Crypt is not the right line that he needed to go for.
Maybe. He, what I can assume is that he didn't quite read what Leon Arbiter did, and therefore didn't discard it with Inquisition. I can't really even remember what was discarded.
Oh, he did discard a Leon and Arbiter with Inquisition. Okay. But I think maybe he wasn't fully aware of the Ghost Quarters.
Yeah.
Playing around a lot with that very nice Zendikar Island.
Yep. You never know.
Taking a shock.
Oh, he's passing the turn. End of turn. Locks it on Smiter. So that's 6 a turn. That's almost a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough.
Ooh, Echoing Truth. So he's surviving.
Excuse me.
However, survival doesn't actually win you the game at this point. He needs to be able to do something.
No, you need to hit another land drop, and that's not looking good.
Faithless Looting. He's going for it.
The old, I'll look at it first. So he can't, unfortunately because he doesn't have black mana in play, he can't go for an Emrakul swing.
No, he has to.
So he has to ditch another Grizzlebrand, which may or may not be in his library. Looks like he hasn't hit it.
He had a Pyroclasm in hand.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's game.
That's how Ghost Quarters work, I guess. And 2 Aven Mind Sensors.
Ouch. Yeah, Charlie's lines seem very much to just restrict your search ability. And
I like to think that Hate Bears gets better the better the meta is, because it restricts a lot of decks that are more expensive.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Hate Bears is a very good deck for
a good meta,
being somewhat cheap and crushing a stronger meta game.
Especially against decks like Jund and Junk, who are very, very mana intensive and mana resourceful.
Yeah,
just to stop them from searching, stop them from being able to
get value out of anything.
Yeah, play lands.
Alright. Well, that was round 4, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you join us for Modern Madness on a Wednesday down at Good Games Brisbane, and continue to watch these shows on Full House Games. Stay tuned for Magic and more.